Welcome to Talk with Healthcare Heroes, episode 11, presented by Medical Crib. Today I have with me Dr. Vibha Verma, who's an Associate Director of Hepatobiliary and Pancreatic Surgery with Max Center of Liver and Biliary Services. She has an immense experience of liver transplant and she is and visiting fellow at Transplant Surgery Queen Elizabeth Hospital, Birmingham, UK, and also at Oxford Transplant Centre, Oxford, UK, and Transplant Fellow at Sir Gangaram Hospital, New Delhi. She has an immense experience and she'll be talking about fatty liver. What is fatty liver? What are the grades of fatty liver? How do we prevent fatty liver? And what are the treatment of fatty liver? So tune in. Welcome to Medical Crib, episode 11. Today I have with me Dr. Vibha Verma, who's an Associate Director at Max Healthcare for liver transplant and pancreatic surgeries. Welcome, ma'am, to the talk. Today we'll be talking about fatty liver, which is very common nowadays. If you see, the incidents are racing and the trend has increased of the fatty liver. So we'll be talking about fatty liver. So Dr. Vibha, what is fatty liver?
Yeah, so fatty liver, as you rightly said, it's become an epidemic. And we've inherited this fatty liver from the Western culture. And basically, fatty liver means deposition of fat in the liver cells. A normal healthy liver has very little fat. But once there is deposition of more than 5% fat in the liver cells, and it is seen, basically diagnosed with different tests, and when labeled as fatty liver, it means that there is fat in the liver cells. So that is basically fatty liver, and there are different causes. Fatty liver could be broadly defined and categorized into two heads. The one major cause is alcoholic liver disease, which begins with deposition of fat. And the other category is non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, where there are different causes for fatty liver, which I'll be enumerating. But broadly, if you ask me what is fatty liver, it is deposition of fat in the liver.
What is the incidence of fatty liver?
Yeah, so the incidence, if you take worldwide, it varies between 6% to 30% of the normal population. So it is very high. Where you say any other disease like cancer, the incidence is lower than this. But if you take something like fatty liver, it is in some of the population, like US population, it is about 25% of the US population is suffering from fatty liver. And if you the whole world, it varies between 6 to 30%. Some of the cases are obviously not reported, but generally this is the incidence.
Ma'am, why does fatty liver happen, or what are the risk factors for fatty liver?
Yeah, so basically the risk factors are about 5 or 6 of them. The common ones, as I mentioned, first is consumption of alcohol. So just mere consumption of alcohol will not cause fatty liver, but if it is consumed more than the healthy habit, there is deposition of fat in the liver cells, and that is how the liver injury because of consumption of alcohol occurs. So one broad category is alcoholic fatty liver. The other category, as I mentioned, is non-alcoholic fatty liver, where what happens, there are different causes. The causes are obesity. So someone who has a body mass index above 25, they are considered as overweight, and above 28, they are obese. And these people, they have higher tendency to collect fat in the liver cells. So one of the common causes is obesity. Second common cause is high cholesterol, or what we term as dyslipidemia. That means the lipid profile of a person is deranged. So there is bad cholesterol which is accumulating in the body, and there is decreased amount of healthy cholesterol. So what we call healthy cholesterol is the HDL cholesterol. I'm mentioning this because people nowadays are quite aware. They go on the Google and they read about it. So if I mention this, they will understand that HDL cholesterol is the healthy cholesterol. If it is less, and the LDL cholesterol, which is the bad cholesterol, if it increases, then there are higher chances of having fatty liver. Then the next common cause, which is very common again in the population, is type 2 diabetes. So diabetes is also increasing in our country, in our world, universe, basically because of our food habits and insulin resistance. So that is the common cause of fatty liver. So type 2 diabetes, obesity, dyslipidemia. Then other small causes are very rapid weight loss, or what we call as starvation, where there is accumulation of fat in the liver. So even starvation or malnutrition can cause fatty liver. So there is different group of people where starvation can lead to fatty liver. People who are on parenteral nutrition, they also have fatty liver. But common causes, as I mentioned, is obesity, dyslipidemia, diabetes, very bad or sedentary lifestyle where people eat but they don't spend enough energy. The whole carbohydrate is accumulated in the liver in the form of lipids. So these are the common risk factors for fatty liver.
So, ma'am, what are the symptoms of fatty liver? How do a person come to know that he's got
Yeah.
fatty liver? Or
Basically, what happens, fatty liver is, so to say, not symptomatic. It does not have symptoms in the early part, and it is incidentally picked up when you do some tests like a liver function test or a sonography of the abdomen for some other reason. But the symptoms can be there. And what are those symptoms? Those symptoms can be vague pain in the right side of upper abdomen, that is below the right side of rib cage, where the liver is situated. And this is basically because the liver swells up. It becomes increased in size, and that is why there is stretching of the liver capsule, and which gives rise to pain. So patients may come up with pain abdomen, they can have discomfort, they can have loss of appetite, they can come with vomiting. So these symptoms are very vague and they are diagnosed as gastritis more often.
so, ma'am, what are the diagnosis that we can do
Yeah,
in fatty
so
liver? How do we come
apart
to know?
from,
Yeah.
so the diagnostic tools are, one is the clinical symptom. As I mentioned, you may come with pain, vague pain, dragging sensation, loss of appetite, maybe vomiting at times. And then when we take history from these patients, realize their lifestyle is bad, they have a sedentary lifestyle, their food habits are poor, they will have dyslipidemia, they will have high waist circumference, that is there is obesity, or there is alcohol intake, or they are diabetic, long standing diabetics. So these are the clinical symptoms which give rise to a hint that these patients may be suffering from fatty liver. The next set of tests are labs, the blood tests. So when you do the blood test, they will have raised cholesterol and high amount of bad cholesterol. They, all the patients need not have all these symptoms, and they may not have all the tests indicative of liver disease. But commonly we will find deranged lipid profile, and if you do the liver function test, they may have raised liver enzymes. So the liver enzymes are raised in a small subset of patients who have fatty liver. It is actually deranged in advanced stage of fatty liver. In early stage, they do not get deranged. Why, how we diagnose? It is by imaging. So apart from symptoms and blood tests, we do certain imaging. First and foremost, which is commonly available, is a sonography. Sonography is available everywhere. It's a simple test, does not require expertise, and it is easily available in every lab. So that will diagnose a fatty liver. They grade the fatty liver based on the ecogenicity, and they grade it as grade 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this is a basic tool. There are advanced tests which have been made available to stratify the fatty liver, because fatty liver, if undiagnosed or untreated, can lead to fibrosis and cirrhosis, which can have uh, very bad effects in the later part of life. So the other tests, the specialized tests which are available, which any common layman must be aware of when they are diagnosed with fatty liver, is a fibroscan. So fibroscan is another a sort of sonography which tells us about the stiffness of the liver, because fatty liver goes through a different phase. First is a early phase fatty liver where the liver is soft, and if you do a fibroscan, it will not have any stiffness. Then there is another stage where there is grade 1 fatty liver, or a early stage of fibrosis, which is again a soft liver. So they are labeled as F1, 2, 3, and 4. So F1 and 2, they are early phases of fatty liver, and this is diagnosed based on fibroscan. Nowadays, there is elastography attached to sonography machine, but it is a specialized test available in only certain hospitals or clinics, which is known as stress elastography, and it is done as we do sonography. The other specialized tests are MR elastography, that is a MRI is done where we test for fat percentage in the liver. Diagnosing is a plain CT scan. So plain CT scan also tells us about the content of fat in the liver. So these are the various tests. The final thing, which is an invasive test, is a liver biopsy. So you do a liver biopsy to quantify the fat and to see the damage the fat has done to the liver. But it is not required in all the cases.
What are the treatment for fatty liver? Like you said, there are grades. So is the treatment different? And what are the treatment for fatty liver?
So treatment, basically, I would say under two heads. One is very important, is a preventive measure. The other is treatment per se. So prevention is when you are having obesity, when you are taking alcohol, or you have deranged lipid profile, or your diabetes has been diagnosed, but you still don't have fatty liver. But you, as I mentioned, these are all the risk factors. So in this preventive measure, it is very important that we have our diet under control and we do physical activity. Only dieting without physical activity is not going to take care of the fatty liver, or not going to prevent from fatty liver developing in these patients. And only exercise without diet control again is not going to help. So it is very important that we have a lifestyle change. And lifestyle change means that we take diet which is healthy for the liver, and we do physical activity as a routine. So what are healthy food habits? So food habits, there's a misconception that I should not be taking fat and oil if I have fatty liver, and I can take as much as any other food content, but it's wrong. Basically, you should be cutting down the carbohydrates. Age-old finding has been that people have this concept in mind that a person who is diabetic should not take sweet items or carbohydrates, but they can take oily food. Whereas people who have cardiac disease, they think that they can take as much as sweet and they should cut down on the oil and fat. But the fact of the matter is that you should not be taking carbohydrates, because if you don't spend that much of energy, all that carbohydrate is turned into glucose and it is deposited as lipids, as fat in the liver. So if I'm having a lifestyle which is very sedentary and I don't have so much of physical activity, all I consume gets deposited in my liver. So it is important that we cut down on the carbohydrates. And what are carbohydrates? They are rice, that is available in potato. It's available in all sweet items, and it is also available in complex carbohydrates. But complex carbohydrates, they do not get absorbed. They are generally excreted. So you can consume a portion of it. But people who consume rice and sweet items, they should be cut down. You can take more of proteins, more of fiber, and more of vegetables, where the absorption power is less and proteins are anyway good for the body. The other thing is cutting down on alcohol, because alcohol, if you consume more, it is again going to be converted into glucose and deposited as fat. The other thing is having good exercise. So these are preventive measures. When we come to treatment, there are certain treatments available for fatty liver, and if you have early stage of fatty liver where there is no fibrosis, if you cut down your weight and if there is weight loss, and we always recommend 10% weight loss in the first 3 to 6 months. That is, if the BMI is above 25, above 28, you have to try and come down to 25 and 28. We cannot ask for a drastic weight loss, but we give them a percentage. And that should be the goal. And it should be achieved by diet as well as physical activity. Doing 30 to 45 minutes of physical activity morning and evening, maybe 5 to 7 days a week, morning and evening, if not 7 days, at least 5 days. So physical activity and dietary control, aiming to reduce 10% of body weight in 3 months, will reverse fatty liver in the early phase. Unfortunately, if we don't take care of the fatty liver in the early phase and we've reached a stage where there is fibrosis, which is stage 3 and 4, we can only prevent the progression to a certain extent, but we cannot completely reverse. So that's about the treatment.
So, ma'am, like you said,
Certain drugs
fatty
available which I wouldn't like to mention, because I think that should be given to case per case basis. But there are certain drugs which are used in diabetes, like metformin, vitamin E. There is Udiliv, which are commonly given for fatty liver patients. So there are certain drugs which can be individualized and given to patients. But for a layman, I must convey that it is lifestyle changes, which includes exercise and dietary changes.
So, like ma'am, you said fatty liver, if not treated, it could lead to liver fibrosis, and to some extent, like in some grades, it is irreversible, reversible. Right, ma'am. So I think I have covered all the questions. Is there any takeaway message for the viewers out there?
Yeah, I would like to say two things. One is, having a diagnosis of fatty liver should not scare the person. It is not a diagnosis which is to be scared of. In fact, if you have been diagnosed with fatty liver, the good part of it is most of the times it is reversible. So that's the good part of having a diagnosis of fatty liver. If ever you've been diagnosed, do not ignore the diagnosis, which is what we see in the common population. They say that it is very common and many people have this diagnosis, so it's not a big deal. But I have to say that having a diagnosis of fatty liver is a is a warning sign. So you have to take care of whatever is the cause for the fatty liver. Visit your clinician, maybe a liver physician, and see that whatever is the cause, because every individual will have a different cause, and get it treated so that the liver, from being a soft fatty liver, does not go on to a fibrotic stiff liver. The second message which I want to convey is that fatty liver, if untreated, does progress to higher stages of fibrosis in 20 to 30% of patients. And this progress goes on every year. There is an increase in the incidence of fibrosis. The more number of years an untreated fatty liver stays with an individual, more chances that it will become a fibrotic liver, and fibrotic liver becomes cirrhotic liver, and this patients, they have higher chances of developing tumor in the liver. So it is to some extent a warning, because you can develop cirrhosis, you can develop a tumor in the liver. So, and the bottom line is that you should have health checkup after a certain age, or if you have certain disease like diabetes. It is a good practice to have a health checkup every year. And if you have a fatty liver, maybe every 6 months. Do not ignore the diagnosis of fatty liver.
Thank you, ma'am, for joining in. If you're watching us live, please do subscribe our YouTube Medical Crib and like our Facebook page Medical Crib. Thank you for joining in, ma'am.